channel. My name is Alex B and this is alexbewell, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you guys about this challenge I did last week. It is called the No Media Challenge. I read it in the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Fariss, and he suggested to try out this 1-week no media cleanse. It is a way for us to take a break from this constant information that we're being fed by social media and the news and just media in general, like TV and movies. And I also just wanted to see how productive I would be without media. So I tried this 2 months ago and I probably got 2 days into it, but I decided to try it again. And here are the rules. So this was a media cleanse, social or otherwise. So that means no TV, no porn, no movies, no social media, no Twitter, no YouTube, no Facebook, and no Snapchat, and no whatever the cool kids are doing nowadays. I have no idea what Generation Z is up to. No news, that means no newspapers, no turning on the TV and watching the news, no reading internet articles as well. And unless it's a part of your work, of course, but this is like for non-work hours. And no podcast. And now what is allowed is music, an hour of TV at night for relaxation, 1 book. He says only read his book, but I already finished his book, so I was reading Becoming by Michelle Obama. So doing this, I was like, I don't need to log out. I'm good at this. I won't even accidentally scroll on Instagram at all. Turns out I did accidentally go onto it, and I didn't even realize. And then when I did, I was like, oh shit, I'm on Instagram. Oops. It's kind of a habit, I've realized. So I still didn't sign out my password just because I'm lazy and I don't like to re-sign in and try to remember my passwords. So what I did is I took all of the media apps and I put them into 1 folder, and I moved that folder to the back of my phone with X's across it for the title. And then what I did for Instagram is I just hid it away in my phone. I just threw it in a random folder. I have no idea where it is. I think Instagram was one of my biggest time wasters, especially with that explore page. So let's talk about some of the pros I experienced during this media cleanse. Number 1 being I was super productive. Shocker. I just had more time to get things done, such as doing my chores. Even though I don't live at home anymore, I still call them chores, but doing my chores, like the dishes was something that I did more of, because usually when I'm cooking and I'm done cooking, instead of just plopping down on the couch in the living room, I was like, you know what, let me take these 5 minutes in between waiting for dinner to be ready to go ahead and wash up these dishes, and then they were done. And I had a lot of time to do a lot of my busy bullshit. It's just chores to do around the house that's longer, going through stuff in the garage, finding stuff to post on eBay to sell. I had more time to make videos, plan videos, and edit these videos. I worked a whole lot more as well, so having some extra money in my pocket feels great as well. I believe I had a higher self-esteem during this week because I wasn't on social media. I wasn't online comparing myself to my peers, and the first time I actually went back online, I have a friend that is in London right now, and the first thought I was like, oh, I'm so jealous of that life. I want that life. This time I was aware of, what my thought process was when I was starting to compare myself. I didn't experience any FOMO while I was on this cleanse. I thought, I'd be missing out on everything that would be happening in the news. However, the news still got to me. Not that this is news, but I heard about the Chloe K thing, the R. Kelly thing, the Jesse thing. And I know some of us may experience FOMO with our friends seeing their Snapchat stories or Instagram stories being out together, and you may feel a bit FOMO. I don't really feel that because I like to stay indoors by myself, but I know that can be a big issue for me. It actually used to be a big issue for me when I was into leaving my house. It really helped me to mind my own business. It shouldn't really matter what so-and-so is doing over here and what blah 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 is doing over there. All I really need to be doing is focusing on my work, my YouTube, my friends, my family, my real friends, not my Facebook friends. Not reading gossip, gossip is just a pointless waste of time. I'm realizing I don't need to worry about what the Kardashians are doing. I have set a rule for myself to not be on social media after 8 p.m. However, I still may be on my phone just Googling random shit that doesn't really matter. Like, is almond milk bad? I don't really need to Google that at midnight. And oftentimes I have this sense of, to be a good citizen of the world, I have to stay informed and about all topics, and I need to be on top of the news 24/7. It's not true. I'm not a reporter. I don't need to stay on top of the news as much as I think I do. Oftentimes when we hear the news, it's usually bad news or fear-mongering news, or just kind of what's the worst headline we can get to entice these people. And most news is mostly opinionated news, and I don't need to be bombarded with people's opinions all day long. If I wanted to do that, I'd have Thanksgiving with my family. Heyo. And I had some more time for self-reflection. I journaled more for longer. I was way more present. Even just staying in line, a lot of times I would be scrolling through Instagram or even listening to podcasts in my headphones while I'm at the grocery store. And I found out that I use media a lot of the time as a distraction from my feelings. So I did try this. I did try this cleanse a few months ago, and I was going through, something was making me anxious. And I just remember being you know what? I call this quits. I need somebody to distract me from my feelings. But I realize now it's important to stay and to sit with what we're feeling and to process what we're feeling instead of just covering it up. That's what people with addictions do. They use their addiction to try to cover up whatever bad feeling that they are feeling. And I think that's what I was using for social media a lot of times, as a distraction from my life. Damn. And this wasn't all smooth sailing. There were some challenges. A lot of the times I got this feeling of, well, I don't want to do nothing, just sitting in my bed staring at the ceiling, but I also don't want to do anything. I don't want to go clean. I don't want to really read even. So there's this middle feeling of I want to do nothing while also doing something, and I think that's where media kind of really fills in that hole of doing nothing but also thinking you're doing something. That's what TV did for me. That's what social media did for me. YouTube. I think TV was probably that biggest void filler. So that was something interesting that I discovered. I thought I would read more. I had thought instead of sitting down scrolling through Instagram, I'd sit down and read. But actually I spent more of that time kind of doing and decluttering my space, working, doing a bunch of stuff that was on my busy bullshit list. So I'm not doing the media cleanse anymore. I finished a couple days ago. But there are some things that I would really like to continue and bring into my everyday life. I really like that no TV unless it's 1 hour while you're winding down from your day. Binging TV is not productivity. Say it louder. For the people in back, for editing Alex, binging TV is not being productive. I already have some rules surrounding social media. I'll link my video down below. So I don't go on social media from 8 p.m. to 10 a.m. That is a no social media zone. That's my time. And start implementing maybe just I want to be able to be intentional when I go on social media. I don't want to be doing that mindless scrolling through the explore page. So that'll be something that I will be trying to implement into my everyday life. So those were things that I took away from my 1 week media So those are some things that I took away from my 1 week media challenge. I highly, highly recommend that you guys try this as well. And you can see how much time you are wasting on Instagram. And now when I go on Instagram, I'm probably doing something more productive, something that's gonna help me into my future, instead of just wasting time scrolling. So yeah, if you have tried this or if you are going to try it, leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of me, please subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.